I don't want to talk specifics because that would tip the enemy off. We have more tactical aviation flowing into theater just based on the time it took to get it out there. I think we're just about where we want to be in terms of total combat capacity and total combat power.
You just heard General Raizin Caine's update on the growing U.S. military tactics in the Middle East as today marks day 4 of Operation Epic Fury in Iran. The general also detailing the timeline of the operation beginning from a month ago when top U.S. military officials began to systematically reposition assets and personnel across the region, to describing the first attack as a single synchronized wave on Saturday in Tehran. Joining me now to give his military insight is decorated Navy Top Gun graduate, FA-18 fighter pilot, and founder of No Fallen Heroes Foundation, Matthew Whiz Buckley. Thank you, sir, so much for joining us, and thank you, of course, for your service. So the general gave a lot of information yesterday. What stood out most to you in terms of the details he gave about the operation unfolding right now?
Well, good morning, Carly. Thank you for having me. I know Raizin Caine very well. I've known him for over 2 decades. He's a great American. When that man speaks, I sit up straight and I listen. The fact that he says we're just about there with everything we need in the region, and what the president and the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War, said yesterday, we can sustain these operations for a long time. They are transmitting to the enemy that we're not going anywhere, and it's best to surrender or capitulate before this gets even worse. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that yesterday. He said the hard stuff hasn't started to come down yet. So we're in for a longer haul than just the couple days than we've seen so far.
Well, we have air superiority right now. Talk to us about the significance of that and what options that leaves Iran.
Zero. They really don't have any options. When you have command of the sky, you can do whatever you want. We had about 4 tankers airborne over Midnight Hammer. We have 25 to 50 tankers airborne. We have free flow over the airspace, which means we can pick and choose targets at will and not worry about any ground fire. Sadly, Carly, the only ground fire we have to worry about is friendly fire. Thank God that those 6 F-15E Strike Eagle crews ejected safely yesterday and were rescued. I'm more worried about our own forces than I am the Iranians at this point. It's over with as far as our air, sea, and mainly land powers as well.
So what's your prediction then in terms of timeline and then ultimate outcome?
Well, I think the outcome has always been a foregone conclusion. The president stated clearly, as did the Secretary of War, say we wanted to degrade their ballistic missile capability and their nuclear program. Any other order effects after that, whether it's, quote, regime change or anything like that, that's going to be up to the Iranian people. But the military objectives, once again, whether it was the Maduro raid or Operation Midnight Hammer or Epic Fury, we can project power around the globe and hit our mission objectives extremely quickly. What happens as far as, the political objectives after that is going to be up to the people of Iran. But as an American who was a kid, when I saw the hostages taken and the USS Cole and the Beirut barracks and Khobar towers and the 608 Marines, sailors, and soldiers killed by Iranian forces in Iraq.
Right.
Today is a good day.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.